And my mom is white, so does that mean I can only listen to like half of Chips and Salsa?
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
And we are back with the Chips and Salsa Show. Thank you for tuning in today, Chipsters. We appreciate that. Starting our 8th year of the Chips and Salsa Show. My name is Alice Lara, and I'm here with
Don Jorge, and I think half a Chips and Salsa is good.
half a Chips and Salsa.
But I have a full Chips and Salsa plate.
You're the chips, and I'm the salsa. How's that?
Where is it? I keep hearing about this stuff. I'm hungry.
Well,
I come here, and
Or, our guest is Tom Pawlak with Mission Restore Bronze, and he's complaining because we don't have real chips and salsa here.
Oh.
When we first started, you remember we used to actually have chips and salsa. Sonia used to bring in
I think you should bring it
freshly
back.
made chips and salsa. I think we
We'll
should
be
too,
standing
George.
in line out here.
George, I think we should too.
Yeah, we should.
Or make the guests. We always joke that we should make the guests bring chips and salsa.
Yeah, and then
have
vote
the
on the
different
best chips and sauce, because you are the experts.
And then we'd be
Yeah.
just munching on. We are thrilled to have back. It's going to be Veterans Day. Is Thursday, right?
Yeah,
Veterans Day?
the 11th.
I think it's 11th, yeah.
Yes.
And what we like to do is bring back one of our favorite chipster amigos here, Tom Pawlak.
What a
because
great cause he has.
He does Mission Restore Bronze.
And they go out and they restore markers. As you can see
Headstones.
the pictures here.
They look like
I
this.
think you have
They make 'em
before
look
and
like
after. And
this.
look at what it looks like afterwards. And this is such an honor for a veteran who has served. And now we have Veterans Day coming up.
Right.
A veteran that has served, and the only thing left is his marker to remind people. The family always remembers, but to remind people who he was, and they do get worn, weathered, and
the hard water.
Your cause of going out and restoring these, you actually ran and restored one, didn't you?
The Arizona sun is really harsh, and Tom, we have a friend who he was only 33 when he passed away,
Dale.
Dale
I remember that
Kimball.
day. Yeah.
And so we went out, and Tom was so wonderful. He went out, and my husband and some other friends did that. And it was amazing what you do, because, people are just, you get used to seeing headstones like that, especially out here in Arizona, all the weather warm.
just
Tell them how this works, Tom.
Okay, what happens when they water the grass way too much? It's hard water, it's well water, or sometimes canal water. So it's a buildup of hard water, and it's like spraying hard water on your black car twice a day. It just builds up, and it's like a cement on there. So what I developed was a process. Nobody had anything in place, and I was here. My buddy was killed in Vietnam. So I did this in Chicago a few each year. Came out here, saw this on a segment, and it just bothered me seeing that marker and all these dignitaries lined up, and you couldn't read his name. So I went out, got down on my 2 knees, and turned it into this within 45 minutes to an hour.
And that looks so nice.
But I looked at this entire field of them. This was in Greenwood Memorial Cemetery, and there were literally thousands that looked bad. And I just looked up. I said, I'm going to need some help. So I start, sitting down, to attract my family. Somebody knows somebody. And back in Chicago, I took care of my buddies. The only bronze one, the rest were stone. So things happened. My buddy was drinking in a bar and listening to a band, and this woman that sat down turns out to be Katy Perry, the singer. I learned Facebook from Katy Perry. And there's a few tricks how you could post it, get it up. Well, I did it too big. In a week and a half, I was reaching 1,700,000 people, and the messages came in. I didn't know there was such a need for this system, this technology. But there's people that didn't serve, and they want to go out and do something. And that's a good way of doing it, and you'll never be able to do just one. There's something happens, clicks in your mind, you feel like that soldier's right there, and I'm going to choke up in 2 seconds here. But it's
so beautiful, and it restores it. I mean, it's just amazing to me how you can make it look so good. And it's like you said, it doesn't take that long. You think, somebody's got to be out there for hours and hours doing that. No, not at all.
This thing, the simplest thing is you paint over the entire marker with a dark bronze paint. Brown, deepest color you can find, major brands, it's in all the stores, but you're painting over the whole thing. And people think it's bronze, you have to do something. On statues you do, you have to wax those all the time, which we do. We've done patents. the Navajo Code Talkers on the reservation, the Vietnam Memorial here at our Capitol. And I was just at the Capitol doing 13 plaques. I always keep that Vietnam one first. I get it done by Veterans Day. We have the statue done. So with this, you paint it, go over the whole thing. Then you sand it with a belt sander belt, which is a real rugged material, left to right in a perfect line. That removes the paint that's over the top of the lettering. And then you call me. It's Mission Restore Bronze. You can contact through the numbers here, and Mission Restore Bronze markers. Look it up and then send me a message, and I'll send you a jar of wax. Jar of wax is what you put on it. When you put the wax on, you just leave it on. The hard water that would normally build up, it won't stick anymore. It's just on the surface. So anytime you go out there, like I did with Dale's 2 weeks ago,
Thank you.
I have my regulars, and I just go out there and put a coat of wax on it. But, you can't stop. You look at it, and I say, when I give away jars at the National Cemetery, which is the worst looking one, the most number of just tarnished markers, and they don't sprinkle water. It's just the sun eats up the finish on it. It's like having a car out there in the sun. You know how it peels. This wax you put on. So I manufacture it. It turned into car wax, boat wax.
That is fantastic because it's something that's really needed for families so they can actually respect their give a proper respect to their loved ones who served this country in such a great way and such a gave so much. And we owe that to our veterans.
That's the least we can do, especially
it's the least we can do.
My buddy died. I gave up the student deferment. He was 3 weeks in Vietnam, and my parents thought I was crazy. What are you doing? You got a deferment. You're in college. I gave it up. I still went to classes, but I always had that thing missing in me, And
Didn't you have a story about meeting Trump one time?
No, Trump walked up to my table at the. No, we got a new one. Trump was an old story. That's from '88.
Oh.
I raised money selling these different tire waxes and car wax and that. So I saw a 1970 SS 396, just like I had. I sold in 70, red with white stripes on it. And I walked around. I developed this cleaner for white lettered tires. So I was looking at the car, I look at the tires, BF Goodrich turned brown. I'm selling 50% of my business is selling this cleaner for this that I developed on it. So I asked the people, who owns this? She goes, this lady here. She does. So I look at it, I said, this your car? I said, I had one back in '73. I sold it for $1,200. Oh, really? I said, this thing's beautiful. Look at it. And I said, mine was a stick and that. I said, but your white letter tires are brown. I said, I got this product. She said, oh, yeah, I know. And I'm looking at her. She's got blue eyes. She's 5'11". I know her from somewhere, Well, out doing PR out at Falcon Field at the Staples store, I met Christy Brinkley. She donated and asked for my phone number. Yeah, supermodel. Don't gives me money and asks for my phone number. It was Christy. Anyway, Christy was in a picture with Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. I sold a jar of tire cleaner to Linda Carter at this car show at Westgate. Big car show. It was 800 and some cars. So she's a local hero here. She's Wonder Woman, but she can't clean white letter tires. She needs my stuff. So, but that's how we raise money. Is we sell a jar of wax is $10. We make money on it. I can make more wax and give it away, and sometimes 10, 14, 15 jars a week go out that are shipped out. So I had to do a fundraiser. But it's the wax that it can clean any marker. In northern climates, it's not that bad, but they can go out there, clear off the failed clear coat, sand it down, letters that look nice, and put wax on it. That's why everybody likes it. It's so easy to do.
Didn't the store have some of your wax? One of the chains?
Yeah, we're going to eventually be in major chains. The auto parts stores are saying it. And as a partnership, the shipping cost me $6.25 to send a little 12-ounce jar out. So we want to put it on the shelves in the store free with my company. And then the people will be able to walk in with a voucher and get a free jar of wax and then buy the brushes or whatever they need. Hardware stores and things like that.
Yeah, because it takes more than just the wax. It takes the brush.
Yeah, the brush and the paint, and they know it. Ace has been helpful, and O'Reilly Auto Parts, and everybody kind of.
And like you say, you'll do one, and then maybe 3 more. It's like, I got to do that one too, and I got to do that.
And you can't stop, Tom. If you're out there in the cemetery, wait, John.
Wait,
we got to do this. We got to touch this one.
We did Dale's, and then 3 around, and I gave jars of wax away to the people there. But that's
awesome.
it's just like I'm doing my part right now. And you have a bad day, go out to a cemetery and do a marker.
Yeah.
Here lies a soldier that died for this country, and we're complaining because we got a bad day going on.
It's
Today I
wonderful.
had a kind of a bad day. Was starting off with new sister moving in, didn't have a car here. Everything was not working out. But you can find such solitude. I've got guys that have PTSD, and when they go out to a cemetery, says, Tom, it's gone. Because they're joining in with their brothers and that. And I never knew what military brotherhood was till I got out. Start wearing this cap that I made up because we're doing all the KIAs from Vietnam nationwide. It's an ongoing program. 58,000. I know we can get that many done.
Beautiful. Now, those are for sale? Your shirts
No,
and
we don't
caps?
sell them. You have to earn this one with
you
this.
have to
They call
earn
it the
it.
scrambled eggs, the oak leaf cluster. That's a captain or above. So our main people, when you do 7 markers, you become a point man. And then you train other people. They go out, do a recon mission, see what's in their local cemetery. We just had a group of lady bikers that went up to the cemetery way up in Cave Creek in the actual town. And they got together and I gave them a bunch of wax and call me when you run out. And that's what I did. A guy at the Capitol walked up. I'm doing the plaques, and he was there. It's 50 years off. And he started pointing out men that he knew
Wow.
that died in Vietnam. He still showed up with flowers for these guys because it's Marine's birthday tomorrow.
That's right.
And,
Thanks
and
for reminding
another
us.
guy that's really doing exceptional things here in town is Bob Parsons with GoDaddy. I learned how to do Facebook from Katy Perry and Bob Parsons, 2 real pros in it, how to get it out, what social media to use, and Bob gives away a million every 14 days.
That is great. You do such wonderful work. Have the prices gone up with everything going on, inflation? Do you
No, they
anticipate
did.
that?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I haven't
send
run-
money and donations. Mission
Yeah.
Restore Bronze. Okay, we're getting ready for a little break. Can you stay with us?
Sure.
To the end of the
We're
show?
here.
Great. We got more to talk about. He always has some great stories. And if you think of anybody who might be interested in listening, tell them to tune in and they can listen. We still got a few more minutes
This
with
is a
Tom.
great cause.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're talking to Tom Pawlak with Mission Restore Bronze, and we'll be right back. I'm Alice Lara with.
Don Jorge el Alacran.
Don't go away. Come back with the Chips and Salsa Show here on Central City Radio. Talk Central Phoenix. We're going to guac on some more.
Now back for more chips and salsa.
Well, sir, while I may not agree with what you say, I'll defend to the death your right to say it.
We are back. This is the last segment of the Chips and Salsa Show. It's so good. It's going so fast. My name is Alice Lara with.
Don Jorge, and I'll defend your right to say it.
To say Don Jorge or Chips and Salsa Show?
Chip and salsa.
Chips and Salsa Show. We're here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Arizona time. We just had daylight savings time. I was in New Mexico, and boom, it fell back. So we're on the same time now as New Mexico. The Californians, the Pacific Coast is now an hour behind us. I don't want to forget, though, we have a brand new sponsor to welcome. Thank you so much. Country Financial is our new sponsor. And if you want anything, you need a financial advisor, maybe you're thinking about retirement, I'm like, I'm too young to think about that. No, you never are. You got to start thinking about financially where you are, especially in these political twilight zone times. You've got to get your stuff in order. Call Mindy Reyes, your country financial rep, and her number is 480-998-8195. We could chat about your financial needs today. Again, that's Mindy Reyes. I use her. She's fantastic. Country financial rep, 480-998-8195. 95. We are so thrilled and honored. It's always fun to have back our good chipster amigo friend Tom Pawlak with Mission Restore Bronze. Yay, he's back. Oh, before we get to you, give me 2 seconds because I wanted to, next week we're going to have author Dr. Donald Critchlow. We've had him on before. He is ASU political professor. You probably know him. And also Ryan Eldridge, who is running for the Arizona Senate. He's a candidate in LD 21. Have you met him yet? I haven't met him.
Probably not. No.
So he's here next week, so don't miss that show. Tom, tell us what are you doing Veterans Day, man?
Veterans Day, well, the parade goes on, it's huge and all that, but I go down to the Capitol and there's plaques all over there that are dusted up, and with the weather cooling down, I was out there today at the Vietnam Memorial, so I usually put a coat of wax on the Korean War Memorial. The Pearl Harbor one needs major painting and cordon off the area and do that. But I walked around there today and I go, it needs me. It's calling me home. And that's where I started. I actually started with somebody that just passed away, and it was Mark Field. He was the publisher of what was originally Arizona Veterans Magazine, which became National Veterans Magazine. And he dropped me off at 2 in the afternoon. I bummed around with him for 2 hours around Phoenix, doing stuff with him, talking about the elections coming up and that. He was a political groupie. He dropped me off at 2, and 4 in the morning I got a message that he passed away of a massive heart attack.
Wow.
So Rest in peace, Mark. I'm at the Capitol alone.
Wow.
Thinking about him.
That
He was out
magazine
there.
was huge. I mean,
Yeah, he published it and he went out and delivered it all over the place. San Diego, he was in like 5 states with it, and he was playing, making all kinds of plans. You couldn't tell there was anything wrong with him. But at a service at National Cemetery, I went up, stood up and gave a few words about Matt Selman. He was talking about Matt running. Was who's going to win? Because I hadn't been around politics through this whole COVID thing, and it. And he was just going over. So I got to talk to Matt at the service, and people that knew him, and it was.
Is
quite a
anybody
shock.
going to take over the
Nobody.
magazine?
But if you know someone that wants to, the mom is an elderly person. He was taking care of her. And,
That's a shame.
but he dropped me off, and I guess he pulled over somewhere to take a phone call, and somebody got the police located to him because he didn't sound right. And they, 4 a.m, here's this post, they died of a heart attack. I go, man,
Wow.
that's how I'm going to live it up. Today I went to the Capitol, did something good. Because with this thing that expanded so much, it's, on the computer, you're always pushing something out there, showing them what to do, the car wax, the stuff, and the strange part is, why does Wonder Woman need tire wax and that? Because Trace Atkins showed up, and he volunteered, and hopefully I'm going to get Joe Mantegna and Gary Sinise to allow us to have our story on the concert on Memorial Day.
Oh,
Well,
that
now
would
I
be
got
great.
Trace Atkins wants to sing. Linda Carter, I'm going to ask her to do the duet about On Two Knees. I wrote the lyrics for a song about our guys that get on two knees, and the guy
have we
they
done
said.
And where's this going to be at?
look that up.
I'm just working on it, putting it together, and the Soldiers in Heaven are orchestrating everything. And the other part is Christy Brinkley to give a talk, because I won't be there. If this thing goes on and Mission Restore gets on the concert on Memorial Day, PBS's thing, I'm not quitting what I'm doing. I'll be in the cemeteries, So I told everybody else that's how it's going to go. So all I can do is ask. But I was looking for a theme song, and then I find the song "Still a Soldier." I go, that's the guy that volunteered. It's Trace Atkins. One of the best songs ever. "Still a Soldier." Listen to it.
Oh, that's a great
It
song.
really tugs
We should.
at
You know
you.
what? I'm going to find it on
Still
YouTube.
a soldier.
The only reason sometimes if we play something, Facebook dings us and says, "Oh, you're off copyrights on that." So that's the only reason we're not going to play it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that you get to listen to Tom.
It picks up the bleep, and then they notify you on it. But that's what it is. It's just when, all of a sudden I need something, and boom, it pops up. I didn't think 2 famous women, they could fit in with this. But Christy Brinkley's dad was in World War II as a medic. He came out of the war and he started writing, and he wrote Dr. Kildare, Ben Casey,
Really?
Trapper John, M.D.
Wow.
But you don't know who you're talking to. But Christy Brinkley had a brown wig on, and she didn't smile. And she didn't have a swimsuit on. How are you going to recognize
didn't have a
her? Wonder Woman. She didn't have
She
her
didn't have
arms crossed
bracelets.
around, no bracelets. She's got dirty tires. So it's interesting. They say the Lord moves in mysterious ways. Every week, I think I got some mysterious.
You are always having adventures,
Yeah.
and
That
deservedly so. And you do such a wonderful job. It's it's not just because it's Veterans Day. All year, this guy never stops.
Since March, when I launched it with the Oscar Austin one, I said, I got to get this out. And I was driving home after being at a car show next to Jeff DeWitt. Jeff DeWitt gave me my first donation. I'll never forget that day. So all day we're, sitting there talking about, how he got started and all, and he ends up, working for Trump. So it's an interesting journey on that,
That's
It's just
terrific.
God had something bigger plan than I ever imagined. I was so introverted in high school. For me to stand up in front of groups and talks,
Not anymore.
I got over it.
I
need
was
to write
shy
a
too,
book.
believe it or not. So,
And I'm a writer. I got 4 movie scripts done, but I got a script that went out to a major director, and hopefully we're going to have Joe Mantegna in it, Harrison Ford, Christy Brinkley as the cutting horse champion, and may have a real major A-lister to play
Tom-
a former resident that passed away, Bill Scott.
please
rancher.
keep us posted on that. We're down there like our last 30 seconds. Give information out again.
Thomas S. Pawlak, and my group is Mission Restore Bronze Markers on Facebook. Just click on there and send me a message, and I'll get the instructions out to you. There's instructional YouTube videos. And I thank you for having me here
Tom,
once more.
always great to have you come back anytime. We need to have you on more often. I know you're so busy, though. I'm Alice Lara here with.
Don Jorge, go out on Veterans Day and shine up a marker.
Yes.
You'll thank the Lord that you have the power to do it and
You've been
blessing
watching,
to do it.
listening to the Chips and Salsa show here on Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. Join us again next Tuesday at 4 p.m. so we can walk on some more. Have a wonderful week. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Have a good one, sirs.